pulmonologist appointment. It's also his synergist appointment. That's his monthly RSV vaccine while it's cold and flu season. I'll show you him. He is currently eating on the way because we ran out of time this morning, so we're multitasking. I figured we'd go over all of the appointments that we have already been to, just kind of give you guys an idea of what to expect. So it's once you leave the hospital. I don't know if it's like this for everybody, but I'm pretty sure it's for all the NICU babies. You visit your pediatrician once every week for a month, just for weight check-ins and to make sure they're growing and doing okay at home. I know the first time you go is 1 to 2 days after you leave the NICU, so that's when it starts. So we've gone to 2 of those, and actually at our second appointment, they told us we don't have to come back because he's doing so great. He does have his 4-month checkup at the end of this month, so it's not too far off of when we visit again. It's just 2 weeks instead of 1. But he's doing so great. Everybody has said so. Every doctor we've seen. The eye doctor, was another doctor we went to, he said everything's been developing perfectly. He'll go back in 4 months to see if he'll need glasses, but we're not too worried about that. So what we'll also do today is kind of go over what we do for him daily. That includes, he has 2 doses of Diaril, which is by mouth. You just put it in his cheek. He has 2 breathing treatments that he gets in the morning and at night. He also has a multivitamin that he takes somewhere midday. I fortify it in one of his bottles. But that's about it. But we'll kind of show you again how to maneuver his oxygen, like what he's on. I'll show you his monitor right now and the travel tank to give you guys an idea of what we bring with him every day when we go out. So this is his travel monitor. It plugs into the wall. It has about a 3-hour charge when you travel places, which is kind of terrible because we always seem to run out of charge when we're outside going to his appointments. But you can see he's at 100% oxygen right now. His heart rate's at 147. The little numbers to the right of the big number, the 100, you see the little 85, that's when it'll start going off if he starts desatting. So if his oxygen drops to 85, it'll start alarming us. Same with the heart rate. You'll see the 200 and the 80. So if it goes above 200, it'll start alarming, and below 80, it'll start alarming. But that's pretty much it. The little wave you see on the top above the 100 just kind of shows us how accurate it is. When it's that little wave that looks like a little ocean, it's very accurate. But sometimes it's not, and it'll like flatline, it'll go off, and that's when we know, hey, it's not real because it's not picking up. Dude, no way. Come on, you got it, bud. Dude, he's almost there. You got it, man. Okay, that's regression.
He's trying to get momentum for the other side.
He's trying to hit that one arm.
No.
Wow. So we just got back from the pulmonologist. Everything went really well. We'll kind of give you the details of what we talked about there. That was actually our first time going since we've been home. We just kind of established where we are. He left that point too, but Sky and I decided to start weaning him just because I don't know if most of you saw, he got pictures done, and for the pictures we took him off oxygen, and at every oxygen check he was stopping at 100%. Stop. And on the way home, when we went to take him off oxygen and put him back onto from travel oxygen to our concentrator at home, we noticed we hadn't even turned it on. So he was at 100% the whole time with no oxygen. So we decided to take it on to 0.1, and he's been that way for about 3 days now, and he still sats at 100%. So we told them that, and they said go ahead and keep him at 0.1, and during the days we can start weaning him down to like 0.05 and see how he does. And I think honestly we'll probably start taking him off oxygen for sometimes during the day and kind of seeing where he's at. So I think he'll be off it really soon, probably by next month, maybe even. We go back the 28th of this month to get a synergist shot, which is his RSV vaccine. And we get that until about March, April, until the season ends. But that aside, I'll go ahead and show you kind of what we do every day for him. They put him on reflux medication today. So on top of the Diarrhea Pulmicort, he'll get that twice a day. And I'll give that with the Diarrhea in the morning and at night. So that's another thing added on, but that's okay. But yeah, I'll go ahead and go through that. So this is his Diarrhea. I just kind of shake it up, and we use a little, I'll show you one. We use one of these to measure out 0.52 in the morning and at night. He gets his Pulmicort, which is, it comes in these packages. There's 5 in it. I'll show you what one looks like out. This is one. You just break it open and you pour it into the little container. And that's what goes into the machine and comes out in the fine mist for him to breathe in. This is his vitamins. Polvivisol, I think is what it's called. It's for iron. So that it's an iron supplement. But he gets that once a day in a bottle. What else do we have here? So this is our little collection of travel tanks. This is the at-home tank. We have about 60 hours in the big one and 30 hours in the small one. So we've actually already gone through one, and that's our carrier case right now. This one's for if our power goes out. He's on the concentrator, and that's plugged into a wall. So if the concentrator goes out, we have about 60 hours on here until the power goes back on, or we can figure something out. But they bring tanks monthly for us and replace them. This is his concentrator. Every day we refill this little cup of water with distilled water. He's currently at 0.1, if you can see that. He's doing great. This cord just runs to him. This actually it takes in air from the room and turns it into oxygen, which is awesome because we don't have to ever refill this or do anything. It just stays plugged in the wall and that's it. As you can see, he's asleep right now, so we'll ride out this little nap for as long as we can. Oh, he's dreaming. But that's pretty much it. That's the majority of everything. But being at home on oxygen really isn't that bad. It's a lot more intimidating than it sounds. I'd rather, honestly, in the beginning, since they started talking about it back in the NICU, I was more comfortable with him coming home on oxygen just because we'll have it here if anything. Him personally, he went through his little episodes where he would have reflux and he would hold his breath and kind of shut down. And when he did that, he would start to turn blue, and they would have to turn up his oxygen. So I felt more comfortable if he did have an episode like that at the house, just having everything I needed. Still staying by the hospital. So I felt more comfortable being by the hospital and having oxygen just in case anything happened. But honestly, he hasn't had an episode since he's been home. He's maybe had one where he got a little choked up because of reflux, but I feel like that's with any baby really. But he handles it so much better than he used to. He doesn't shut down anymore. He gets through it. He'll cough a little bit. That's why the pulmonologist wants to put him on some reflux medication, because she said when he refluxes or if you hear him coughing, it inflammates the I don't know what, I just lost it. Anyways, it inflammates the airway. She doesn't want to do that considering his lung issue. And another thing is, they told us, which I didn't know this, but chronic lung disease of prematurity, kids don't usually grow out of it until the age of 7, just because everything continues to develop and continues to grow. So having chronic lung disease of prematurity isn't as scary as it sounds. It will resolve itself. It'll just take a little bit of time, but that's okay. We have time. And honestly, I'm glad we came out on the better end of things, because he could have had a lot more issues than just lungs. He could have had heart issues. He could have had brain issues. Another thing I didn't know, transfer babies, because I delivered at Cape Canaveral. Babies that are transferred, especially over like a long period of time, because he was in the ambulance for about an hour, are more at risk of having brain bleeds than not, because of just the movement, in the car, moving around, getting transferred from the car, from the hospital. So they're more at risk for having like a grade 4 brain bleed. And I know one of the nurses mentioned that she was surprised that he came out just having a grade 2 and it resolved itself. So I mean, a lot of it we can thank God for because we had so much prayer, and I honestly believe that that's what saved him. Just everything that happened that night just went perfectly, because any one thing could have gone wrong and just kind of, it wouldn't have had the same outcome. But he's beeping, so I'll go see if he's awake. So he wasn't awake, he was actually just moving around, and that's normal. It goes off all the time, but I like to be safe. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I covered everything. I'll follow this video with me showing you when I give him his Diarrhea and Pulmicort and all that good stuff. And I think we might get a bath today, so I might add that in here too. He definitely needs one. So I'll finish it off here. Thank you guys for following along. I know a lot of you have been asking why we haven't done a video, but I feel like it goes without saying, we just needed some time to adjust. We actually did work on a video and I deleted everything on accident, so this is a little overdue. But yeah, that's where we are right now, and we're in a good place. He's doing great. He hasn't had any episodes. He's just doing so good, and I think he's thriving at home, and I think this is what he needed. And I'm definitely happy to have him here. So right now we're getting his morning bottle in. Sky went to go grab his Diarrhea and Pulmicort. Usually I give the Diarrhea first, but in the mornings he is very, very hangry. We figured we'd show you guys our daily routine, so we're starting in the morning. As you can see, he also pulled his nasal cannula out. I haven't put it back in yet because I'll show you its stats. Currently at 100% oxygen, so I'm not gonna mess with it. Not only that, but our pulmonologist told us that we can start weaning during the day. So I'm not too worried about him being off oxygen for a little bit. He's already down to 0.1 from 0.2. So all he's got to go is 0.1. He just got finished eating. This is what his diarrhea looks like. Oops, we give him half a milliliter. So I'll just put this in his cheek. Push in a little bit. And I put the pacifier in to help him get it down. And I'll just finish that up. And we're done. We'll move on to his Pulmicort.
So what you do is you open this, you twist the top off this, and then you put it kind of on the side and you just squeeze all of it out, and this just turns into like a steam,
Like a fine mist.
like a fine mist, and it doesn't have to like go over his nose. He's got to get a good majority of it in there.
Usually takes about 5 minutes at most, just a couple minutes, and he does really good. He'll just sit there, I don't know if you saw him, and he'll just kind of like, sometimes he'll reach up and hold it and just kind of sit there and stare. That's pretty much what it looks like. It just plugs in to the bottom. That's where he put in the Pulmicort, and it just plugs into the top right here. But it's pretty easy. You get back to me? Good boy. Alright. You can smile at me. You smiling at mommy?
This thing is like incredible.
It really is. You can look at the camera.
And it's like soft as could be, and
Yeah.
it's
It
amazing.
comes with a comb too. And it just like hooks in there. So
We'll put a link to it in the description just so you guys can find it. It's called a Frida.
Yeah, something like that.
Frida hairbrush. Frida makes like really good baby products.
So right now we're on the way to my oil change and to do some laundry at my parents' house. But while we're on the way, I figured I'd show you how to use his travel oxygen because it didn't take us too long to learn it, but I honestly had no idea what to do. So this piece right here is actually interchangeable. It unscrews and you can move it from tank to tank. it's pretty self-explanatory. You just unscrew this, and then there's two little things that punch in it. But right now you can see we're about halfway full. That means we have about 15 hours left. This right here tells us where he's at. He's at 0.1, that's 0.2, and it goes all the way down to 0. There's this little piece right here where you have to put on the top, and you have to close it, and then you can take, you unplug his cord and put it onto the concentrator at home. But that's pretty much just how you do that. It's not hard. So I probably should have shown on here, but I just retaped his oxygen cannula. You change the cannula out every week. I think the long cord that goes throughout your house and plugs into your concentrator, that you change every 2 weeks. 10 days. 10 days, 2 weeks-ish. They give you 2 a month, right?
Yeah.
So about 2 weeks. We order things monthly at the end of the month. Right now you can see I'm using the clear tape on his face because the little stickers they give us, they only gave us 2 packs of those. I think they're supposed to last 2 weeks and they don't last like 2 days. So we had some tape left over from the hospital, and I know you can order them on Amazon. I joined an oxygen group on Facebook, and they posted what you can buy, and they have cute stickers you can buy that are decorated and designed. But I feel like he won't be on it too long. There's no really point in investing in anything too special. So we're definitely going to plan on doing more videos like this in the future, just kind of share our day-to-day with you, kind of get in a routine. We actually have some big news coming that we'll post in maybe a week, because it'll happen in about a week. So we can't wait to share that with you guys. We're super excited. We can't wait. It's been a long time coming. Subscribe if you want to be a part of our family. All right, well, we'll leave you guys here. Until next time.